Back in 1706, a bishop and a baron in London co-founded the first modern life insurance company. It was called the Amicable Society for a Perpetual Assurance Office. All I really want out of this vale of tears is to live in amicable society and experience perpetual assurance. What a phrase that is, perpetual assurance. It seems to me that the underlying problem with the Anthropocene is that we all want to feel perpetually assured, but the world offers almost nothing that is either certain or perpetual. There is, however, still life insurance, and Policygenius makes finding the right life insurance a breeze. In minutes, you can compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. So go get a slice of assurance for those you love via life insurance. It takes just a few minutes to apply at policygenius.com. Policygenius. Get life insurance right. Back in 1789, Benjamin Franklin famously wrote, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." But he didn't actually invent that joke. More than 70 years earlier, the playwright Christopher Bullock wrote, "'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and taxes." In reality, of course, taxes are not a certainty. Just ask many multinational corporations. But while taxes can be avoided, the other inevitability cannot. That's why it's so important to get life insurance right, and Policygenius makes finding the right life insurance a breeze. In minutes, you can compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price, and once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. So in just a few minutes, you can find your best price and apply at policygenius.com. Policygenius. Get life insurance right. First, the Anthropocene Reviewed is supported by Policygenius. So, the earliest form of insurance used in India and Mesopotamia thousands of years ago is known as bottomry. In a bottomry contract, loans were granted to ship owners with the understanding that should the ship be lost at sea, the loan would not be repaid. The interest on the loan, provided the ship didn't sink, would then cover the cost of those that did sink, making shipwrecks less catastrophic, at least for the people not on the ship. Anyway, it's never a bad time to consider your life insurance options, but, I mean, yeah. Policygenius is an insurance marketplace, and it can help you compare quotes and save more than $1,500 per year on life insurance. So if you're looking to buy life insurance but not sure where to start, head to policygenius.com. Policygenius, a significant advancement over bottomry contracts. That's not their actual motto. Or, I guess I should say, that's not their actual motto yet. You might think that I am the only writer ever to pay the bills by selling insurance, but no. The poet Wallace Stevens worked for decades for an insurance company. "Let's see the very thing and nothing else," Stevens once famously wrote, presumably about my discursive ad copy. So here's the very thing and nothing else. The Anthropocene Reviewed is supported by Policygenius, which compares quotes from top life insurance companies for you all in one place. This doesn't just save you a lot of legwork, you could also save $1,500 or more by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies and get the right policy for you. Once you apply, the Policygenius team handles all the paperwork and red tape for free. Policygenius. Let B be the finale of seem. How many Wallace Stevens quotes do you think they're going to let me suggest for their motto? Policygenius. I do not know which to prefer, the beauty of inflections or the beauty of innuendos. Policygenius. The summer night is like a perfection of thought. Okay, back to the show. You know Franz Kafka, the great chronicler of modern absurdity and the terrors of bureaucracy? It may not surprise you to learn that he worked in insurance, briefly at a private insurance company, and then for the Kingdom of Bohemia's Worker Accident Insurance Institute, which is a name right out of a Kafka novel. But fortunately, you don't have to get your insurance from the Kingdom of Bohemia anymore.
The Anthropocene Reviewed is supported by Policygenius, which compares quotes from top life insurance companies for you all in one place. This doesn't just save a lot of legwork. You could save $1,500 or more by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies and get the right policy for you. And once you apply, the Policygenius team handles all the paperwork and red tape for free. So no Kafka-esque horrors for you. I mean, until you call the cable company. To find out more, head over to policygenius.com. Policygenius. The meaning of life is that it ends. That's not really their tagline. That's a Kafka quote. Recently, I found myself reading the last will and testament of a distant relative of mine who died in the 17th century. Part of the document begins, "In view of the fact that nothing is more certain than death, or less certain than its hour." And I just loved that line. I thought my ancestor might be some kind of literary genius who wrote an absolute banger of a will. But then I found out that it was actually quite common for wills to include that phrase at the time, and that my ancestor was just a normal tailor doing normal tailor things who signed a very average will and then went on to die during, get this, an infectious disease pandemic. Anyway, in view of the fact that nothing is more certain than death or less certain than its hour, there's never been a better time to consider life insurance, and the Anthropocene Reviewed is supported by Policygenius. Right now, you could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. Policygenius is an insurance marketplace built and backed by a team of experts, so if you need life insurance, head to policygenius.com to get started. Policygenius. Nothing is more certain than death, or less certain than its hour. Is not their tagline, but it should be. I'm available, by the way, Policygenius, for all your tagline writing needs. I'm right here, just reading 17th century wills. All right, back to the show. You remember our old friend Edmund Halley, for whom the comet is named? He played a starring role in our third episode, but he was also among the first people to attempt to try to figure out how long people could expect to live. In 1693, Halley examined birth and death records from the city then known as Breslau and today known as Wrocław, Poland. Halley found, for example, that at the time, a 30-year-old had around a 50% chance of surviving to the age of 58. Halley, who had a real gift for titles, called his paper on the topic "An Estimate of the Degrees of the Mortality of Mankind Drawn from Curious Tables of the Births and Funerals at the City of Breslau with an Attempt to Ascertain the Price of Annuities upon Lives." So pithy. So basically what I'm saying is that Edmund Halley was in the life insurance business, just like I am, because the Anthropocene Reviewed is supported by Policygenius. Right now, you could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. Policygenius is an insurance marketplace built and backed by a team of industry experts, so if you need life insurance, head to policygenius.com to get started. Policygenius. Better life insurance than even Edmund Halley could have imagined. I'm going to really miss coming up with new slogans for Policygenius.